Well, hello everyone, it's Jordan Howie here, and in this podcast, I will be exposing a 10 of Big Pharma's lies that people have been indoctrinated with for about the past century. So, we will begin with lie number 1. Sunlight causes cancer. Big Pharma lied about the sun causing cancer, and Big Pharma sold the public this line to sell them sunscreen. Sunscreen has been proven to be toxic because of all the toxic things that is regularly put in sunscreen. Sunscreen also blocks vitamin D absorption. When plants turn to face the sun, cattle come out to graze in it, and when sunlight shines into the window, dogs and cats sun-gaze in it. There is something called sunning, which is where you stand in the sunlight and close your eyes. Sunning is healthy and free. Spending time in sunlight is very good for you, as it is great for vitamin D and healthy skin. Sunlight does not cause cancer in any way, shape, or form. If a so-called doctor tells you that sunlight causes cancer, then do not believe him or her, because he or she is an indoctrinated doctor who is spreading Big Pharma's lies. The 10 lies that I am exposing in this video are lies Big Pharma made up to get people sick and then make big bucks off of them. Big Pharma has a corrupt practice of demonizing that which is natural and healthy to sell unhealthy alternatives to get people sick, and then sell them the so-called cure that will create more problems. Big Pharma does not want people to be healthy because then they won't make the big bucks that they want to make. Big Pharma is totally corrupt. Here's one more thing that I forgot to add. What Big Pharma has done as a form of sorcery was spreading the 10 lies that are all being exposed in this video. Big Pharma did this type of sorcery to destroy people's health. We know that Satan comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. It's pretty obvious that Big Pharma is run by Satan. The Greek word for sorcery is pharmakeia, which is where we get the word pharmacy from. This reveals something very dark about Big Pharma. Lie number 2. Saturated fat is unhealthy. Big Pharma demonizes saturated fats to sell people with toxic seed oils. Big Pharma claimed that saturated fats supposedly clog arteries, and then used additional fear-mongering to get people to avoid saturated fats and consume a lot of toxic seed oils, so that people will get sick and then Big Pharma would make a lot of money off of them. Big Pharma is largely driven by intense greed. Saturated fats do not clog arteries, and they do not increase the risk of heart disease. It's the sugar, refined carbs, seed oils, stress, and smoking that clogs arteries and increase the risk of heart disease. Over the past 75 years, the consumption of saturated fats went down over time, and the rates of heart disease and heart attacks went up at the same time. And so his diet heart hypothesis was proven to be false. If a so-called doctor tells you that saturated fats are unhealthy, then do not believe that, because that is a lie that Big Pharma made up to get people sick. If you want to find out more facts about saturated fats, then you should listen to what the keto or carnivore doctors have to say about saturated fats, since they will tell you the true facts about how saturated fats are actually healthy, just like what I'm about to do in this video. Natural saturated fats are nutrient dense, are very good for your health, and are very good for your skin. Some natural saturated fats are even heart healthy, thanks to vitamin K2, which is good for your heart. This means that beef tallow, butter, egg yolks, ghee, hard cheeses, and unprocessed or minimally processed dairy are all heart healthy, as they are good sources of vitamin K2. Beef tallow also has vitamins A and E as well. Big Pharma suppresses the true facts that I have presented in this video because they do not want people to be healthy. Since more people becoming healthy means that Big Pharma will make less money. Big Pharma deserves to go out of business because Big Pharma is very corrupt. People have consumed diets high in saturated fats for thousands of years, and they were a lot more healthier than most people today. Right quick, there's something I forgot to type in. So I will type that in right quick just before I get to the third segment. Alright, now for the third segment. Line number 3. Red meat causes cancer and diabetes. Big Pharma made up a toxic lie claiming that red meat is supposedly carcinogenic and supposedly increases risk of diabetes. Big Pharma sold people this destructive lie to sell people synthetic fat soy vegan burgers that are ultra processed. Red meat is one of the most nutrient dense foods out there. It is a very good source of a lot of minerals and fat soluble vitamins. Red meat is very nutrient dense, and it is also a good source of protein too. Red meat does not cause cancer or diabetes in any way, shape, or form. In fact, red meat actually reduces the risk of cancer and also reduces the risk of diabetes. A diet that is high in natural fats, moderate protein, high in fiber, and low in carbohydrates will actually reduce the risk of cancer and reduce the risk of diabetes. 1 Timothy 4:1-5 says, "Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from meats, which God hath rated to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. For every creature of God is good, and nothing to be refused, if it be received with thanksgiving, for it is sanctified by the word of God and prayer." Big Pharma told people to avoid red meat and fatty unprocessed meats to sell people ultra-processed soy vegan burgers. In reality, red meat and natural fatty meats are nutrient-dense and are very good for you. Natural fatty meats are a crucial part of a balanced diet and should be consumed regularly, not limited. Remember that the saturated fats in natural fatty meats are very healthy and nutrient-dense. The World Health Organization is a corrupt organization that is owned by Big Pharma. Segment 4. Lie number 4. Seed oils are healthy. Big Pharma has told people that toxic seed oils are healthy. This is a dangerous lie because industrial seed oils are highly processed and inflammatory. These oils clog your arteries and increase the risk of heart disease. These oils go through a horrendous process and goes through a solvent called hexane. If you watch a video on how seed oils are made, you would be utterly disgusted at how it's made. The substance looks so hideous, and seed oils were also used as machine lubricants. When the consumption of seed oils went up, the rates of a multitude of health issues went up as well. The seed oils are terrible for you. A Big Pharma loves toxic seed oils because seed oils make people sick, and it's through seed oils that Big Pharma makes a lot of money. Big Pharma is a horrendous beast and is a horrible enemy to public health that comes from Satan. John D. Rockefeller was the founder of Big Pharma, and he demonized holistic medicine in favor of petroleum-based medicine to make big bucks off of people. Nowadays, Big Pharma demonizes natural fatty meats and animal fats in favor of toxic seed oils and ultra-processed vegan soy burgers that are filled with additives invented by Big Pharma, and they do this to make people sick. John D. Rockefeller ran a very corrupt monopoly that has destroyed the health of millions, just as Big Pharma's infamous lies have destroyed the health of millions. Lie number 5. High-carb, low-fat diets are ideal. A Big Pharma has sold people the lie that claims that high-carb, low-fat diets are ideal. This is another destructive lie because these type of diets are the worst diets to follow. Such diets greatly increase the risk of diabetes, heart disease, nutrition deficiencies, and many other health issues. Big Pharma has told people to follow these type of diets to make people sick, and you guessed it, make a heck ton of money off of people. The human body cannot handle the amount of carbohydrates that Big Pharma tells people to consume. Big Pharma tells people that 45 to 65% of their diets must be carbs. And that is way too many carbs for a proper diet, as that is diabetes waiting to happen. The human body was not designed for such a high amount of carbohydrates, like what Big Pharma recommends. In fact, carbohydrates should not be the largest portion of a diet. It's fat that should be the largest portion, and then carbohydrates are supposed to be the smallest portion. The three macros from most fundamental to least fundamental are fat, protein, carbs. Animal fats are very nutrient dense and should be consumed regularly. A healthy diet should be 34% fat or higher, 20 to 33% protein, and 33% or less carbs. The average healthy balanced diet is 60% fat, 25% protein, and 15% carbohydrates. Diets that prioritize natural fats, protein, and limits carbs are ideal. This is the truth about what a diet is supposed to be that Big Pharma will try to suppress, because more healthy people means that Big Pharma will make less money. Like I said in the second segment, Big Pharma deserves to go out of business because Big Pharma is extremely corrupt. Lie number 6. Cholesterol is bad. Big Pharma blames cholesterol for heart disease to get people on statins, which actually make things worse. Statins increase the risk of diabetes, which is the same risk high-carb diets carry. It was recently proven that people with high cholesterol live longer and healthier lives. I found out about this true fact on several keto, carnivore, or MAHA platforms. MAHA stands for Make America Healthy Again, by the way. It is not regular LDL that clogs arteries. It is the oxidized LDL that clogs arteries. What causes oxidized LDL is the sugar, refined carbs, toxic seed oils, smoking, and stress, since those things cause inflammation and then cause clogged arteries. Cholesterol is essential for hormones and brain health. Cholesterol also decreases the risk of brain disorders like Alzheimer's and dementia. There was a study that clearly proves that people with high cholesterol experience less cognitive decline with age. This means that cholesterol is healthy and nutrient dense. Cholesterol also decreases the risk of cancer as well. For thousands of years, civilizations thrived on diets high in cholesterol, and they were healthy, and they did not have heart disease or have heart attacks. Lie number 7. Raw milk or dairy is toxic. Big Pharma claimed that raw milk or dairy is supposedly toxic or dangerous. Big Pharma told people that lying because raw dairy is nutrient dense, and Big Pharma does not want people to enjoy the health benefits of raw dairy. Raw dairy is nutrient dense and safe if the raw dairy is sourced from a healthy environment and comes from a healthy cow. Bear in mind that there is nothing wrong with pasteurized dairy or ultra pasteurized dairy. It's just that raw dairy that is sourced from a healthy environment and comes from a healthy cow is more nutrient dense than the pasteurized and ultra pasteurized counterparts. Raw dairy also has a lot of good enzymes, fatty acids that benefit health, and good bacteria that benefit health. People thrived on raw milk for thousands of years before the process of pasteurization was invented. Lie number 8. Salt is bad. Big Pharma told people that salt is bad for you to get people to have diets that don't have enough sodium. A healthy diet should have a decent amount of natural sources of sodium, like sea salts, mineral salts, and Himalayan pink salts. It's the refined table salt that should be avoided. Natural sources of salt, like sea salt and Himalayan pink salts, is essential for certain bodily functions. Big Pharma suppressed these true facts in favor of their lies about assaults. Civilizations over thousands of years were very healthy on diets with 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of sodium per day, coming from sea salts and mineral salts, and having a proper salt to water balance. Lie number 9. Fasting is bad. Big Pharma told people that fasting is bad because they don't want people to enjoy the health benefits of intermittent fasting or OMAD. OMAD stands for 1 meal a day, in case if you didn't know. Big Pharma designed a hidden agenda behind the concept of 3 meals a day, and breakfast is the most important meal of the day myth. Big Pharma designed this agenda to make people sick, weak, and controlled. Before Big Pharma started destroying people's health, people ate 2 meals each day with no snacking, and some people even thrived on 1 meal each day as well. People thrived this way for millennia. Big Pharma also demonized fasting to shove the diet model of high carb, low fat, 3 meals a day. John D. Rockefeller invented the concept of 3 meals a day, and he is the same man who is the founder of Big Pharma. The old food pyramid also came from Big Pharma as well, as that food pyramid was a total fraud, as following that food pyramid was diabetes and many other health issues waiting to happen. Big Pharma demonized fasting as one of the ways to get more people sick, and then make money off of them. The concept of eat when you're hungry and not when it's supposedly time is a very good one that we should follow. It is definitely better than Big Pharma's idea of 3 meals a day. Lie number 10. Calorie counting is ideal. Big Pharma told people to count calories and ignore the calorie equality. Big Pharma created the concept of calorie counting as a psyop to get people to not care about if the food is healthy or not. Calorie counting is a total fraud because it ignores the quality of the calories. It doesn't take into account whether the food is healthy or not. Because of calorie counting, Big Pharma would consider a toast topped with sugary jelly that is only 150 calories to be healthier than a butter-basted skin-on chicken thigh that has 350 calories. It is pretty clear that the butter-basted skin-on chicken thigh is a lot more nutrient-dense than the toast topped with jelly, since calories in the toast topped with jelly are low quality, because it's 97 to 100% carbs and sugar, which will spike blood sugar. On the other hand, the calories in the butter-based skin-on chicken thigh are higher quality calories because it's just fat and protein, which is very good for you. The fats in the butter-based skin-on chicken thigh are very nutrient-dense. What's worse about the calorie counting myth is that this myth is also a total fad that does not work as advertised. Calorie counting is one of Big Pharma's favorite fads, and that is also one of the most popular health fads that is spreading Big Pharma's lies about calorie counting even more. And now on to the final segment, so what to do if someone tries to defend Big Pharma's lies. If you share with people the true facts that they've learned in this video, or any other facts that exposes Big Pharma's lies, and if people try to defend Big Pharma's lies, then be prepared to practice patience. Because a lot of people were indoctrinated with Big Pharma's lies their entire lives. So if they ask for evidence that proves that Big Pharma's lies are nonsense, then share with them the facts that I shared in this video, and if they are not convinced, then point them to platforms that destroy Big Pharma's lies. Doctors like Dr. Eric Berg, Dr. Ken B. Bering, Dr. Mark Hyman, etc. have done a wonderful job destroying Big Pharma's lies. For example, if someone claims that saturated fat is unhealthy, then tell them that saturated fats are actually healthy, and that over the past 75 years, the saturated fat intake went down while heart disease rates went up, thus debunking Big Pharma's lie about saturated fats. Also, tell them that people thrived on diets high in saturated fat for thousands of years, and they were healthy, as this fact also destroys Big Pharma's lies about saturated fats. If the person is still not convinced, then point them to platforms run by keto or carnivore doctors, since they will go into further details that prove that saturated fats are actually healthy. But if there's ever any nutrition studies that contradict the facts that I have presented here, then do not believe those studies, because those studies are false, as such studies were performed by Big Pharma to regurgitate their nonsensical lies. Now that is it for this podcast. Have a nice day, and goodbye.